And
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to our channel, Red Bull Coffee and Crime. Um, today we have a different kind of story we're doing. John Knight is back with us. John,
hi, good morning.
how are you?
I'm doing pretty good. How about you?
Trying to wake up.
I feel it.
Arctic was just on with us, but he disappeared. Hey, Barbara.
Mm.
So he'll probably come back on. I was gonna play this video real quick before we start because this is the man that we're gonna talk about other stuff, but I wonder. I just need to know if you guys have heard of him because it's insane. So I'm just gonna play this short clip real quick.
I can do the screen.
Why did these beings choose me? An orange yellowish light comes on. David is looking at the light and doesn't hurt his eyes. He is aware of the beings. They are standing over him. They are touching his body. My name is David Huggins. I'm 72 years old and I live in Hoboken, New Jersey. I was living a perfectly normal life until I started remembering things. It was just like image upon image upon image. It wouldn't stop. I was so scared. The eyes were just glowing. They hit the ground running straight toward me, and we floated up to some type of craft. I said, "You hurt me, you hurt me." No, 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 no. This is the woman I never told anyone about. When I was 17, I lost my virginity to a female extraterrestrial. That's all I can say about it. Virginity lost.
Okay, so this man seems so crazy, but like the paintings that he does from all his experiences, like legit just seem in my mind what aliens would be like. Hey Garnett,
Hello.
how are you?
I am just waking up.
Yes, I think we all are just like just waking up, need more caffeine. Um, so this guy, I don't know if you guys have ever heard of him. Um, let me just tell you guys a little bit about him. Why isn't this working? Oh my god. Okay. So when he was 17, he claims that he lost his virginity to a female alien. The 70-year-old says in a documentary about him called Love and Saucers. That's all I can say about it. um, this allegedly went down in 1961 when Huggins was a teenager living on his parents' farm in rural Georgia. It wasn't the first time these aliens had appeared to him. He'd been seeing strange creatures since he was 8, but on this day, as he was walking through the woods near his house, an alien woman appeared and seduced him. I thought, if anything, I'd be losing it in the back seat of a Ford, something like that, but it didn't work out that way. Um, According to Huggins, these visits and his sexual relationship with them continued into adulthood. When I interviewed him for this story, Huggins told me his last encounter with Crescent, his name for the woman in the woods, was 6 months ago. I was sitting down in a chair and the woman Crescent was behind me. She put her arms around me, and that's about it. I don't know anything else outside of that. Um, Huggins is unnervingly matter of fact when he talks about his encounters. It sets him apart from what most of us expect from truthers and UFO enthusiasts. He's not in it for the notoriety, nor notor, yeah, you know, and doesn't care if anyone believes him. When Huggins talks about fathering hundreds of alien babies, and yes, that's another one of his encounters. He sounds about as even keeled as a farmer explaining crop rotations. It's one of the things that drew filmmaker Brad Abraham to track Huggins down in New Jersey, where he lives now. Abraham heard Huggins' story on a podcast about UFOs and the paranormal in a sea of outlandish claims that was one of that rose to the surface. And that was David's story. Huggins was born in Georgia in 1944. He talks about hunting for arrowheads in nearby fields for fun and not liking the Baptist church his grandparents took him to sometimes. When strange beings that no one else could see started appearing to him around the farm, he thought he was losing his mind. I am sitting under a tree and I hear this voice say, "David, behind you." I turn around and there is this little hairy guy with large glowing eyes coming straight towards me. I thought it was the boogeyman. I didn't know what to think of it, he says in the film. Another day, an insect like being that reminded Huggins of a praying mantis appeared. I was very terrified, he says. It was like, what in the world am I looking at? And for an 8-year-old, you don't know what to think. Once the shock wore off, Huggins said his encounters were weird, but not threatening. When he left Georgia in the mid 60s for art school in New York, the beings followed him. Nocturnal visits from Crescent, the ET who deflowered him, became routine. My relationship with Crescent was warm and friendly, a little strange. What do I mean, a little? Very strange. She was my girlfriend, really, Huggins says in this film. A very unconventional relationship, he adds. One of the first paintings Huggins ever made was of him and Crescent having sex. The painting's not really all that good. She was on top of me. I reached my climax. Then she and the insect being leave. He says similar paintings fill his apartment. They're so real and a little childlike, dominated by deep blues and greens. This is another thing that sets Huggins apart from most people with alien abduction stories. He paints his encounters. It started in 1987 when Huggins started remembering details from these early visits. Um, it was like a compulsion. I was being led to the book, he says in the film. There is the chapter Other Woman, Other Men. And I start reading it and I go, oh my God, this is the woman I never told anyone about. As I was reading it, memory upon memory came flooding back. It was image upon image. They wouldn't stop. I think what bothered me the most is I didn't know what to do with it. I was scared. It seemed like he was almost going crazy from not being able to process these experiences that happened to him. Um, so he was able to sleep for the first time in weeks, like after he started painting. And then he started painting every single detail of every encounter. 100 something paintings. It is art therapy. What makes Love and Saucers a very good documentary about a man who paints himself having these encounters with aliens is that Abrahams lays out the details of Huggins' stories and lets viewers come to their own conclusions. At its core, Love and Saucers is a film about belief. Um, so, you guys, he goes on. It's a lot of information, but he claims like once he moved to not New Jersey, but he moved to like New York, and he thought that he lost them. Like they stopped following. Oh wait,
They stopped following him.
oh I thought we lost somebody. Yeah, they stopped following him, but then one night he remembers he woke up. What is he saying? Is he talking? Is he talking smack to me, Garnett?
No, I've got my headphone on.
Oh, um. So yeah, he's like sleeping one night, and uh, what's her name? Credit, whatever her name is, the one that he always has sex with. She came in, and she was carrying a baby, and she couldn't speak, but she was like telling him in his mind. She didn't know how to take care of it because it was half human, half alien, and he was like, she was telling him to come with me, and she ends up taking him up into the wherever, like into space, wherever the fuck it was, and he sees a room filled with like thousands of his babies, and so they're asking him, like, they didn't know how to feed it, like the babies, they didn't know what to do, and he said that he sat there, like he stayed for a little bit, and he was showing her how to be a mother. It's like weirdest story ever, crazy. But these paintings, if you guys go look at them, they're definitely just awesome.
What are you doing today?
Oops, I was trying to look for the paintings. What do you guys think about aliens? I mean,
I believe in them. Because there's got to be something out there more than just us. And on top of that, they just discovered a whole nother planet that 99% positive that there is another living being on that other planet. I've Googled a whole bunch of it. I forget the planet's name. See if I can put it real quick. Hold on.
see, these were his babies. This is where he said that they were keeping them. There was like so many of them.
Today, then take out for a spin and go to the wind with a
And then I know that white boy just said something about, what did he say? Man, military admitted to spotting aliens recently. Hold on, let me see.
I mean, talk about bragging rights. 17 years old and you lose your virginity to an alien. It's like I did ET's mom at 17. I mean,
I mean, I just find it so weird that somebody would just come up with that. Like, in the drawings are so detailed, and um, it's crazy.
I wonder if he has had encounters now with his children.
Actually, I gotta read. He doesn't have any experiences with them anymore.
Okay.
Like, they went away. I gotta find that part. Hold on. Man in military. Um, he's alien. I want to see what white boy's speaking about. Oh yeah. So there's so many leaked videos.
Mhm.
He says there were 3 types of aliens on Earth with the military. I don't know if this is the one that he's talking about. An ex-military man and the strange story of tall white aliens.
Cocomelon.
well, I mean, I believe that there are aliens out there just simply because of all the big hush up over Area 51. And if you think about it, after that Area 51 encounter, and they found the alien spaceship and all that. That's when our technology really started to take off. That's when we got TVs going. That's when we got microwaves. That's when we got a lot of the technology that we have
Yes.
now.
I agree with you, Arctic. Uh, it would be very egotistical to think that we're the only people that live in this great big universe. But I sort of lean towards they watch us like an ant farm. They know we're a plague. We destroy everything we touch. They don't want us out there in their universe.
Hell no, shit. I don't blame them. I'm like, please
Well,
take
I do know
me.
one thing. The theory that they came here looking for intelligent life is not true because compared to what they know, if they were able to come up with TVs and microwaves and all that, we're not the most intelligent planet that they could visit. So
Right. I mean, hold on. I'm looking up David now. Please. David Higgins now. Um, it was so weird, and I totally like a week ago. My landlord like was driving by, after, and my uncle passed away, and he started speaking. He was friends with my uncle, and he started speaking about death and another life, and then aliens came in into the story somehow. I don't know. I don't know, but he started speaking about stuff in the Bible and aliens. I wish I knew what he said. I have such short term memory, but um, he just started going on and on. He said a lot of stuff about aliens that actually makes sense. Did I get? Oh, mm, I have so
Okay,
many.
I found it. If you look up Kepler, I do believe it said 57 or something like that. It's like a second Earth, um, it's like a second Earth, um, planet that they just recently found through the Webb's telescope, and they're doing research on it, and it's in the habitable zone like Earth is to us.
Oh wow, what is it called?
Kepler, I can send you my screenshot real quick. Hold on. See if I can get off.
Oh, Kepler, Johannes Kepler.
Yeah,
Okay, Kepler documentary.
and then these, I'm gonna send it through you in Messenger. These are the most recent planets that might um have also aliens on them as well. So I really don't call them aliens. I call them other living creatures because
Yeah.
um
So the below sums up some worlds that we've discovered that scientists believe may contain alien life in which we could inhabit. Oh my god, that's crazy. I was just looking at the thing that you just wrote. I mean, the name you just gave me. Kepler right here. Let me share this. I'm trying to find the video. Let me see. Is this him?
Today I have the privilege of announcing the discovery of Kepler's first planet in the habitable zone of a sun-like star, Kepler 22b. It's 2.4 times the size of the Earth. It's in an orbital period of 290 days, a little bit shorter than that of the Earth. It's a little bit closer to its star than Earth is to the Sun, about 15% closer. But the star is a little bit dimmer. It's a little bit lower in temperature, 220 degrees lower in temperature. It's a little bit smaller. So that means that that planet, Kepler 22b, has a rather similar temperature to that of the Earth. The Earth's radiative temperature that Natalie mentioned is 255 degrees Kelvin. This is 262 degrees Kelvin, some 7 degrees different. So if the greenhouse warming were similar on this planet and had a surface, its surface temperature would be something like 72 Fahrenheit, a very pleasant temperature here on Earth. The star is some 600 light years away, so it's not terribly far away, but not terribly close either.
Hold on. Ah,
I was scared before I met.
what did I do? Okay, so hold on, I found something else. Where is it? Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know if you'll hear it good or not.
Still hear me?
Yeah.
They've also found signals from other forms of energy from different planets as well.
That
I'm
is
sorry.
insane.
I just thought it was kind of interesting because um like I didn't even mean to interrupt the show,
Oh no,
but
you're good. We're talking about every subject. I mean, like every person or anything that has to do with aliens. So, you know, um, I don't, I definitely, hey, y'all said 9:30 is running you. We've been on since 9:30. We were here on time, Avery.
yeah, we were here on time. Well, I was a couple minutes probably late, like maybe 1 or 2 minutes, but I was trying.
I mean, I don't understand the whole big, it's 8:53. Oh, our times are different. Ah, okay. So you're an hour behind. Um, I don't understand like what is the cover up? Like I know that I've never gone into full detail, I mean research and all this shit, but what is the point of covering any of this up?
Because they want to do their own research and investigations, and like when
I
when government when the government takes over facilities and stuff like that, that's what they are hiding. Like Area 51, that's what majority of they're hiding in there. I've also seen like on um a few occasions where they bring in big trucks down underneath tunnels trying to hide stuff. Like that's what they do. They keep everything from us so that when we go and they do the FEMA camps, it all leads to a FEMA camp and them taking over the whole entire, basically the whole entire United States.
And if you think about it, a lot of our military technology probably came from what they've learned from the aliens too. The stealth technology, our nuclear technology, and things like that was probably developed off of things they learned after that alien crash back in the 50s.
I heard of places where there are spirits of women who are very friendly with men, and I have thought about visiting those places, but I don't know about being intimate with it. Oh my God, Bob, I've heard that too. Um, I don't know.
Bob. Uh, just so you know, I live in Pennsylvania and I have Amish country here, and sometimes the Amish try to stop some of the inbreeding in their community. You can find lots of women that you know uh, they encourage that. You
What?
know.
Oh my god, I can't.
Yeah,
Um,
a lot of I've researched about Amish
That's
people
real,
too. 'Cause
actually. They really do like look for men outside of their community to help increase their
their population,
population.
hmm.
and if you're not from their culture, but they accept you in, um, they will pay you to basically get impregnated so that they can keep the genes a little bit off from their genes, like how they, because a lot of Amish are inbreded, so they once in a while pay an outsider to come and mess with a female, and just so that it can like keep that separated a little bit.
That is crazy, Garnet.
See, John, you've heard about that.
I'm not visiting you ever, Garnet. I take it back. With my luck, I will end up getting freaking held hostage by these people.
No,
No, that
no, they're actually really friendly. They will help you if you do go to them. A lot of
they
Amish
do
don't believe,
amazing work. Like their woodwork and stuff is really crazy. Like they do amazing work.
and they go by their own own little laws, but um they don't hurt no one like legitimately. I went up to a whole entire um church full of them, and I was lost, and they actually stopped the church service and just to help me get directions. Like it was really cool.
Yeah, in all honesty, the Amish are really good people. Like they just don't think like we do. Like their moral compass
Are we alone in
is
this universe?
different than ours.
That is
Yep,
insane.
and they also believe in other life forms as well. If you look up in Pennsylvania, the alien ratio compared to other cities, Pennsylvania is almost, I do believe, if I'm not mistaken, almost like it's either a number one or a number four that have alien activity as well.
Oh my
Um, they they have pictures of crops being messed up and everything. It gets really intense if you look it up. But
yeah.
I feel hard to believe like we can't be the only ones out here. So I do truly believe that we're not alone.
Bob said I'm originally from Mansfield, Ohio, so I live close to Amish people, so I know about them.
That's
Um,
awesome.
um oh, what was I gonna say? Arkansas escape from aliens. No sign of intelligent life here. Yes, same with me here. But I do often, all the time, like wish one would just come and take me, take me at any minute, like take me away from this crazy world. I want to go up there. Let me play this real quick.
This question alone has tormented our minds for centuries. We have looked skyward and wondered our place in the cosmos. The twinkling stars that don't twinkle at all have fascinated us, and we have always marveled that someone, somewhere far away, is looking back at us and see our sun twinkle. But in the search for life beyond Earth, philosophy offers little help. And as there is no way for us to contact them, we can only shoot in the dark and hope that they contact us. But what if they already have? What if we have found life outside Earth, but in microbial form? Have we overlooked alien signatures and radio messages that is still too complex for us to comprehend and make sense of? Today, we will look at the many hints that have emerged over the years, pointing towards the existence of life beyond Earth. These are the most hotly debated discoveries that are indicative of alien life. We will keep them short and precise. Welcome to Lab 360. It's time to explore. 1976, the Viking Mars landers detect chemical signatures indicative of life. Tests performed on Martian soil samples by NASA's Viking landers hinted at chemical evidence of life. One experiment mixed soil with radioactive carbon-labeled nutrients, and then tested for the production of radioactive methane gas. The test reported a positive result. The production of radioactive methane suggested that something in the soil was metabolizing the nutrients and producing radioactive gas. But other experiments on board failed to find any evidence of life, so NASA declared the result a false positive. Despite that, one of the original scientists, and others who have since reanalyzed the data, still stand by the finding. They argue that the other experiments on board were ill-equipped to search for evidence of the organic molecules, a key indicator of life. 1977, the unexplained extraterrestrial WOW Cygna L is detected by an Ohio State University radio telescope. In August 1977, an Ohio State University radio telescope detected an unusual pulse of radiation from somewhere near the constellation Sagittarius. The 37 seconds long signal was so startling that an astronomer monitoring the data scrawled, "Wow," on the telescope's printout. The signal was within the band of radio frequencies, where transmissions are internationally banned on Earth. Furthermore, natural sources of radiation from space usually cover a wider range of frequencies. As the nearest star in that direction is 220 million light-years away, either a massive astronomical event or intelligent aliens with a very powerful transmitter would have had to have created it. The signal remains unexplained to this day. 15810 Iran. In April 2016, NASA's New Horizons spacecraft reached the Kuiper Belt. After capturing its first target, Pluto, the probe turned its sight towards a large object on a strange trajectory. We are talking about 15810 Iran, named after the Celtic god of death, war, and the other world. Now, most of the objects in the Kuiper Belt are made of rock and ice. But Iran doesn't move like any of cataloged object in the belt. This has made scientists question if it is made of something completely different, something much stronger, because it's rotating so fast that centrifugal force should have torn it apart. How could something spin so fast and stay intact? Scientists believe that the fast spin is creating artificial gravity, and gravity would be the most vital thing needed for long interstellar travel. You cannot have astronauts floating around the spacecraft while traversing hundreds of light years. This probed the New Horizon to take a closer look at the object. And here is when things turn strange. As the probe tried to get a closer look, suddenly, all of its sensors went dead, and transmissions cut off. It was as if someone was monitoring our presence, someone or something that did not want us to know about them. But just before losing contact, NASA observed that Iran was spinning like a large spaceship would. Now, you can say that it might have been a technical glitch, but here is when things get crazier. Only when New Horizon moved away from Iran did it suddenly come back to life, as if nothing had ever happened in the first place. Now I would leave it to you to assume what it was, but if it's an intelligent alien civilization, it makes complete sense to stay far away from Earth and silently observe us from the cold and dark space in the Kuiper Belt. Ancient evidence. Okay, agreed. Not all UFO sightings are legit, and it is very easy for the experts to dismiss them. But not all of them are weather balloons or drones. Because you can dismiss evidence, but what about ancient evidences? Yes, we are talking about the Madonna with Saint Giovannino, which is also known as the UFO painting. Created in the 15th century, it depicts the Virgin Mary, and in the backdrop of the painting, a man and his dog staring up at a hovering disc-like object that is suspiciously familiar. And this is not the only piece of art that shows these eerie disc shapes. Ancient cave paintings in India and Sanskrit scrolls depict alien life dating back thousands of years. Uparts. An upart, out-of-place artifact, is a term applied to dozens of prehistoric objects found in various places around the world that, given their level of technology, are completely at odds with their determined age based on physical, chemical, or geological evidence. In 1991, the appearance of extremely tiny coil-shaped artifacts found near the banks of Russia's Kashim, Narda, and Balbania rivers brought about a debate that has continued even to this day. These manufactured coils were initially discovered during geological research associated with the extraction of gold in the Ural Mountains. These pieces include coils, spirals, shafts, and other unidentified components. What is so mysterious about these artifacts is that they were found at a depth between 10 and 40 feet, in a geological stratus between 20,000 and 318,000 years old. Does it suggest that there may have been a culture capable of developing nanotechnology 300,000 years ago? The shape of these artifacts suggests that they are manufactured and not naturally occurring metal fragments. In fact, they have been found to closely resemble the same miniature components of contemporary nanotechnology. Now some have argued that these tiny structures are merely debris left behind from test rockets being launched from nearby Plesetsk space station. However, a report from the Moscow Institute determined that they are far too old to have come from modern manufacturing. Moreover, the Central Scientific Research Department of Geology and Exploitation of Precious Metals in Moscow has concluded that despite being thousands of years old, the components are of a technological origin. All of the objects seem to be manufactured, as no type of natural process known could explain their creation. How humans 100,000 years ago would have been able to be technologically advanced to such a degree as to be able to create them is unknown.
Oh, that's what my neighbor, my landlord was speaking about. What they're talking about.
This
right
mysterious
here.
discovery evidence that humans may have been more technologically advanced than previously believed, or are the objects evidence of extraterrestrial contact or presence? A missed call from Proxima Centauri. In 2019, astronomers discovered a radio signal that appeared to come from Proxima Centauri, the nearest star to the Sun. Though the signal was clearly unnatural in origin, it bore no obvious mark of humanity. The scientists named it Breakthrough Listen Candidate 1, or BLC-1, after the state-of-the-art search for extraterrestrial intelligence that made the detection. What's so fascinating about this signal is that it had almost all the characteristics we expect from a techno-signature, meaning evidence of the use of technology. That is no mean feat. There are several ways radio searches check whether a signal might truly have come from an alien civilization, and BLC-1 was the only one ever that checked all the most important boxes. However, when astronomers tried to observe Proxima Centauri again in 2020, and yet again exactly 2 years after the original detection, BLC-1 had disappeared. They ruled that the signal might have been human anomaly after all, but we are still not sure. And let's not forget, Proxima b lies in the habitable zone of its star. An array of UFOs. Seeing one UFO is exciting, perhaps intoxicating even. But what would you say to an array of UFOs parked in a line? Astronaut Gordon Cooper, who flew both the Mercury 9 and the Gemini 5, claims to have seen an entire convoy of UFOs during his time with the Air Force. Interestingly, 10 years later, he came across something very similar. In 1963, while on a solo journey around the Earth, when he was just finishing his 22-orbit trip, he saw a green glowing object hurtling towards his Mercury capsule. The scene was picked up on radar by the tracking station in Mouchet, Australia, which makes it quite extraordinary and very believable. When he described the incident to the United Nations, he said that these extraterrestrial vehicles and their crews were visiting from other planets. He said that while most astronauts are reluctant to discuss UFOs, in 1951 he had the privilege of seeing several UFOs of different sizes, flying in fighter formation, in the general direction of east to west over Europe. Are we being watched? A small step for man, a giant leap for mankind. These famous words by Neil Armstrong, the first man to walk on the moon, were further enhanced by his sightings of not just a UFO but a whole UFO parking lot. Imagine that. During the Apollo 11 mission in 1969, after Armstrong landed on the moon, it is believed that NASA lost transmission with the space mission for about 2 minutes. It is rumored that during that time, Armstrong sent a secret message to NASA saying, "These babies were huge, sir. Enormous. Oh God. You wouldn't believe it. I'm telling you, there are other spacecrafts out here, lined up on the far side of the crater's edge. They're on the moon, watching us. While there are several such tales about Armstrong and his first lunar landing, he himself.
Oh wow! Have you guys heard any of that with Armstrong? I never heard.
A little bit. I've also done a little bit of research on that as well. Basically, they're like the NASA and their organizations um are running into actual aliens, spacecrafts, as well as life forms. Um, some people, a lot of people say, "Oh, aliens are green. Aliens are green." He described aliens basically as like a bluish color, like a bluish greenish color.
Oh,
Um, but it wasn't like very, very bright. It was um more like how you would see an actual skin, like me and you and stuff like that. But it had like a bluish, greenish tint to it. Um, there's a lot of, I think there's a lot of different maybe species, depending on where you go. Like, for instance, if you go to the moon, I think you're going to run into something completely different than you would to say Mars or Earth 2.0 or something along them lines. Because if you go to, like, let's say Earth 2.0, it has the potential, from what James Webb is saying, it has potential to be, um, and it has a potential of being habitable by humans. So with that being said, like, it has water on it, it has beaches, it has mountains, it has snow, it has rain, and it and it has all of the seasons like Earth does, and
wow.
plus some. And it has actual living organisms in it, as such as like trees and stuff like that. And it has oxygen, and it can get intense. They're thinking they had found another planet. They would be considered as a water planet. Um, that is legitimately nothing but water, water and air.
That's
Um,
insane.
there's like a whole bunch of possibilities out there, and we're just touching the like the skin with it. If you like actually look up into this, um, it it gets really interesting, and but in the same sense nerve wracking because you want to know more. I've been doing research on alien activity since I was probably about 9.
Yeah, because you
And
a lot. I'm just
yeah,
like, whoa. But what do you think? Okay, so everybody sees aliens like that having a different encounter with them. Like why? Okay, wait, where's the picture? Like this one, and then they have this little bug that he said that the girl that he gets pregnant follows her around. That's an alien as well. I mean, they just come in all different features, looks.
yeah, it's like different genes of them. What from what I gathered and searched up, um, it's just kind of like you and me, but in the same sense, their form. Um, with like genes. They all have their in particular genes and their looks and like even the darkness of their skin color, or it could be a shade off or a shade too bright. They do have hair and um their eyes. Some of them say they glow, some of them say they don't. That's like a controversial thing. Um, but yeah, it gets really crazy. Like if you look up aliens and stuff, a lot of people don't just Google it and actually pay attention to the material that they're reading. Like I said, I've been doing it since I was 9, and I'm technically older than Google. And when I first experienced alien life, I was in my mom's backyard, and I seen um like there was like shooting stars, but in slow motion, and it came closer, and it looked like a saucer type figure with lights going around it, and it would the lights were turning different colors, like in the saucer figure.
Oh my
And
god.
then another one came and they kept on zigzagging back and forth in the sky type area, and then they just like shot off and disappeared. It was crazy.
That's insane. And that's what this David guy, he says that most encounters happen to younger children. Um, like for some reason they go to younger children and they're the most
Yeah,
likely to see them.
because the
Something.
re- the reasoning behind that um is because most children younger will not remember what exactly happened to them, or um they're easier to deal with than a full grown adult would be. If you take for instance a newborn baby and you treat it as your own and they start growing up, they're really going to believe you're really mom and dad, but in all reality you're really not. You took them.
Mm,
You see what I'm saying? So
yeah,
it's something almost similar to that. It's just basically, I don't know how to explain it. And then my friend Bree, she's really, really into this. She's a little bit older than I am. She's said she's actually went on a spaceship before. I've never experienced going on one. Um, but I have experienced a glowing green orb um figure in front of me. Um,
that's awesome.
I've experienced my car completely stalling out and me looking at the front end of the vehicle, and then me getting out and seeing flying saucers. And yeah, it, and I would be like in the middle of a country road all by myself in pitch black,
Oh my
and
god.
it would light up.
Uh, I would be so scared. I would be
I
so scared.
In life, if you're scared, um you're not really living your life to your full potential, because if you want to live your full potential without being in fear, you have to open up possibilities. And with that being said, you have to face your fears on a daily basis and complete goals that are set out for you.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I would be like, at first scared, but then I'm like, okay, can you take me with you? Because this our world is fucking crazy. But it would just
Um,
be like a shock at first, like what?
more than likely they won't take you with them because some of their places they don't know exactly how humans would react in their civilization or their like um where they live basically. So they tend to keep us here on Earth, sometimes for research, just like us. I'm sure the government's hiding corpses of aliens, and they capture them so they can do their research. And we're just like sitting ducks sometimes.
Yeah. This is kind of like what David has said. Like a total of 212 people say they have been abducted since 2014. Many recall close encounters of a sexual kind. I wonder what this whole sex thing is. Like, are they just trying to get more of them? I mean,
It's basically so they can do research on us.
okay.
Like um our how do I say it? How our reproductive system, and also how what can we be just like us trying to impregnate a pig with a chicken or something.
Yeah,
Um, it's more for research purposes than anything. And then what they do after the alien gets impregnated, they use the baby as research, and then on top of that, if an alien and supposedly impregnates you, I have yet to see it. I'm a big believer in um if I don't see it for myself, then there's got to be something going on. So, but I do like keep up with the medical and stuff like that with aliens. But with that being said, when they impregnate one of our human females, they can't take her with them and do whatever they want with her. So they have to monitor her in in the human world so that um she will be able to possibly conceive the baby, and then they take the baby and do research from that. So
mm,
basically, they're trying to do research on us to see what they can do and don't do with our bodies, and it's basically test dummies.
that's insane. Arctic, have you ever had any encounters with aliens?
I met Hillary Clinton once, if that counts.
Shut the fuck up.
That sure enough does.
Oh my god. Um. Uh,
And also, if you noticed, um, a lot of our like pop stars and stuff also, um, they're aliens. They're legit aliens, I do believe, because if if you look at it, how is somebody dead still coming up with music and coming out with new releases? You thought almost almost like Whitney Houston. Um After she passed away, there was releases of her music that has not gotten released, but there was additional music to that as well.
I don't know. I've never thought of that part. Um,
And there, it's a government entity. Once you become like rich and famous and da da da, it's kind of like the Illuminati. I don't know if you know.
oh yeah, I am all yeah. Def-
Well, it's kind of similar to that, but it's in government form. Like they they got um aliens trying to act like people,
hmm.
and they fake either one, they fake people's deaths, or two, it's just amazing on how many people are just dropping dead all of a sudden. All these movie stars, oh, he had a heart attack, oh, she had that at 27 years old, um and all this and all that. That's what they want you to believe. It, what is really going on, I do believe, is they took alien bodies or their souls and they placed them into a human, and we've gotten to the point to where we can make our own human.
Wow.
Like, we have the technology to basically reproduce ourselves in a test tube and
Oh
make
yeah, I mean we've
years.
got the cloning and stuff that's available now
Ex-
too. So
yeah, and
Hmm.
what they're doing is they're putting these souls into aliens. Um, they're making these humans and putting the alien souls or whatever it may be, or even using the cover up of humans and making them into pop stars, movie stars, and stuff like that, and giving them their own voice, giving them the cash, the cars, what else not? Because if you think about it, how can somebody go from one day being a normal person, then suddenly, oh, we know about you now. We know what you do, and it gets crazy. I'm sorry.
You're fine. I wish I knew all about this. Like, I need to start researching more. Um,
It, a lot of it has to deal with it leads right back to the government and Illuminati, and if 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 you do your research the right way,
mhm.
you will be able to tell, and you will be able to see exactly what I'm saying.
Hmm. I'm definitely gonna look into this stuff when we get off or later on. Um, I know I do believe that they're out there. Um, as some people that come out with their stories, I mean, it's probably just to come out and whatever. But I do believe a lot of them, and I know a lot of people like you that said they've had experiences. So that's
Oh,
pretty.
definitely have.
Um,
Oh,
Slug was on here, and she said she had an experience, but I wanted to know what it was. Slug, if you're listening, could you let us know? I want to see what this video is real quick.
and
Oh, go ahead.
sorry.
No, you're good.
And when you do your research, make sure you take a mental note of it too, because like there's been research that I've started
Uh huh.
and yet have to complete because they would hide the information. Like, let's say, I would get, um, I'm going to go throw out a name like Britney Spears. If you research her and what she does, um, and turn around and you go and research that again, it's not going to pop up the same thing over and over and over again. It's going to eventually hide the information that you were originally searching uh, on that person and tell you a whole different thing.
Yeah. Oh, I definitely.
So
Britney
when
Spears is she? She's probably one of them.
I have, I mean, there's a big possibility because how does a pop star come from going crazy and wild and drugged up to just normal?
Yeah, it's definitely, and now she's going back to craziness. I don't know. There's a website to check to see if others saw what you saw. I saw something 7 years ago. Looked like those balloon lanterns at memorials, and it was gone. At least 5 other cars stopped and looked. Holy shit, that is insane. I want to have an experience now.
Sometimes it can be a good experience and sometimes a bad experience. So I
Mhm.
wouldn't wish it upon you yourself. I mean, yeah, this is a crazy world, but ultimately, out of every single Earth there is, and other planets there are, um, Earth is the most compatible with our bodies.
Yeah, and I cannot give an alien a baby, so I think they would not even decide to visit me.
Mhm.
My baby, I am off. Off. I cannot have babies. They'd probably be
The-
like, screw this girl.
Um, actually, they might have the technology to impregnate you,
Oh, God.
and you not know it, and that could be something they research. So you never really know and fully understand until something like that does happen to you.
Ugh. Barbara, learning this and all, but very interesting learning this and all, but I would have to see one in person to believe it. I'm not being real. I'm sorry. It was really cool learning these things. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people don't believe in this kind of stuff, so that's fine. Um, Everybody has their own opinion. I'm gonna
Definitely.
play this real quick. I just want to see if this is an actual him just telling his story.
Recently, right? Yes. What was your reaction? Oh, I liked it. I mean, Grant did a very good job. Were you at all hesitant to allow someone to document your life? No. No. You're an open book, hobby of yours. It was discovered by a neighbor, really, right? Mm-hmm. And so it's like you never really saw any attention from anyone. It kind of just happened. That's right. I never tried. And, well, there was a gallery in New. She gets this very hard look on her face. And I remember saying, if I believed it, I would never have done the paintings. And she says, why? I says, well, the problem with belief is that there's always a but attached to it. I believe in fill in the blank.
It's just, um,
That's why she was having that very hard time. So Janice asked me to come back and move in the house. So I did. And what happened is that Janice has something wrong with her knees and her elbows. And so I helped her out. And that was it. And for the timeline of David and Janice were living in Upper Manhattan. Yes. Paying $60 a month in rent. No, I was paying $60. And then eventually you moved to Hoboken and purchased the home that you sold. Right, yes. Very good. Please, also many, please.
You mentioned Bud Hopkins being your watershed moment. Did you ever meet with him, or did you ever know about?
Okay,
Or
that's just
caterpillar. I put in a caterpillar that crawls out of the ash. Now, what was interesting is that a couple of months later, I hear about Betty Andreas and Luca. And I get a book of hers. And in the book, she has drawings of the phoenix and the worm crawling out of the ash. But the reason why I did the caterpillar is that I looked it up in dictionary. And it was a dictionary. It was the Chinese mythology.
all right. I thought he was gonna tell us a story in like a short version, but yeah, you guys, oh no, you're okay, Barbara. Thank you though. I appreciate all you guys, and I want to. You're okay. Thank you though. We just appreciate your support and you sharing all of our stuff. Um, so John, yeah, you definitely know a lot. Like I know not even half of what you know, and I am definitely going to do my research. I just thought that this guy was so interesting with his experiences and him painting them. Like I totally believe in all he had all those experiences, and I just find it just I don't know. I mean, they came at him at a young age, and um, dropping down for a few. Oh, okay. Arctic had to get off. Um, and then them coming back to him years later, and it's just all so weird.
Yeah. A lot of people think I'm crazy for believing in it. I don't care what people think, really, because I know what I've experienced and I know the truth, and that's what matters the most to me.
Yeah.
But like I said, if you do your research on it, and you'll be able to recognize little details, and you have to be like very picky with your information as well when
Yeah.
you're doing this, because in the normal eye you can bypass information and not even know it.
Uh-huh.
Some of it can be coded in. The easiest way I can explain it, it's almost like how you would do a coded letter to
Mhm.
somebody, like with the letters in different places, and you just have to really look into it and actually go paragraph to paragraph and look for little signs like
Yeah.
that, like misprints, as well as, sorry, I'm in the middle of trying to clean too. Um, Misprints, as well as other um, possibilities, like an exclamation mark that is in the middle of the page that's not even supposed to be there for God only knows what reason.
Yeah.
That could be a sign. And you would take that like one letter and write it down, and then you could do your little research that way as well.
Yeah. So it's all kind of it's really you have to really go far into this research.
Yeah, when you do.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome though. So if any of you guys um aren't really sure or you don't really believe in it, like I would definitely just look, go do your research like John said, and but just be careful about what you read. Um what baby? Huh? Oh, that's headphones. It's on the computer. See? Yeah, so just do your guys' research. I mean, not a lot of people believe in it. There are a lot that do. That's a mouse. but definitely interesting. I know that me and Garnett's son, we're gonna talk about walkers. I don't know if you know anything about walkers. No, baby, not that, not that.
Not too much. Um, like zombie, almost like. I don't really get into it too much with the zombie thing. The only reason why I don't is because it kind of conflicts with aliens. If you more or less want to speak about and it's weird. It's really hard to explain.
Yes, we're gonna do one. I mean, because Lawrence knows a lot about it, so we're gonna do a show. But you know, it would definitely be interesting to hear about as well. Um,
Definitely.
but yeah, that was it for this show. I definitely appreciate all your knowledge. I didn't even know you knew all of this stuff about it. Like, that's freaking awesome, actually.
Like I said, I've been doing it for so long that
Awesome.
sorry, I'm trying to put my daughter's hair stuff away and it's really heavy. Um I lost track of what I was saying. Oh my god.
You were saying about you were doing this for so long.
Oh yeah, I've been doing this for so long that it's basically like second nature to me.
Yeah,
But with like a new person trying to do it, um, I advise them to get somebody that has experience in searching and
yeah,
doing it with them as well.
yeah. Because I am nowhere experienced in this kind of like I don't have half the knowledge, like I said, that you do. But that's freaking awesome. I'm definitely gonna look do my research. So
100%. Like, and if you find anything, um, I would like to know. Try to send it to me. Sometimes, like, if you get the right information and certain information, the
yeah,
government tries to hide it, and it'll legitimately delete what you send to me.
what the hell?
Yeah,
So it's oh my god, that's so
get
weird.
it on.
That is so weird.
Yep. I've tried uploading information before. Excuse me, we're not running around here booty naked. Sorry. Go in there and get your underwear on and get your shorts on.
Barbara, we are about to finish up because we're gonna do a live on John's channel. But next time you can come on live.
I was gonna see if we can schedule it for about 1-ish, if that's okay.
Yeah, that's fine. That's perfect.
All right, because I had to get the truck back, and this kind of like ran a little bit over, and
yeah, no, that's fine. I gotta still clean up and stuff, so that gives me plenty of time. I gotta get some stuff wrapped up. I gotta get stockings hung up. What, baby? Huh? We'll get it. Hey, Christine. Thank you for joining. We are about to end the show, though. Do you guys have anything else to say about aliens? Arctic?
No, I'm good.
I'm gonna send them your way. Baby,
thank
stop.
you everybody for having me today. I really appreciate it.
Well, thank you for joining. I'm so glad that I will subscribe to John's channel. He doesn't have a channel, um, but he does have the Facebook and the TikTok.
Yes, and you're more than welcome to follow. I don't post a whole bunch of about it due to the fact that anytime I do normally post anything about it, it automatically gets deleted because I'm so already into it,
That is
and
crazy.
the information that I normally get is
It's
really critical.
stop. You're gonna make that
So it
explode.
got to the point to where I just stopped posting
That's insane.
information. Yeah,
That is really insane. I don't understand.
like
I
I wouldn't be surprised if, like, you know how you can save your podcast. I wouldn't be surprised if they deleted that.
what?
Yeah,
They
I've
better
actually had stuff like that happen to me because I got
what?
too deep into it.
New headphones.
Huh? Those aren't new. My other headphones were not working, so I had to use those. Well, hopefully it'll definitely be stop. Stop. But I am gonna get off of here. Well, I already follow him on Facebook. Yeah, it's good. And please share his page. Please share the videos of the predators and everything else. We will go live on his Facebook just to um, talk about different things. And I think what would you say, 1 o'clock?
About 1 o'clock, yeah.
Yeah, just let me know. Message me.
All right, just message me and let me know when that's going on.
I will.
Okay,
And you guys, thank you for watching. Let us know in the comments how you feel about aliens. John, I appreciate because I did not. I'm so shocked that you know all this information. Like my mind is blown. I'm about to get off of here, and I'm supposed to be cleaning, but I'm definitely gonna go do some research.
that's awesome. Like
So
I said, if you find anything other than what I can, please send it to me, and hopefully let it go through. Like I said, 'cause I've gotten to the point to where a lot of times when I do talk about it over the internet or to people, they delete feeds and it gets tense.
that is insane. That's freaking insane. What baby? It's a kitty. Oh my gosh. All right, you guys. Well, if you are not subscribed, I thought you meant you were joining him off of YouTube. Oh no, on his Facebook. If you're not subscribed already, please subscribe. Please hit the like button. Subscribe to Arctic Fox True Crime as well. Go check out Erie Predator Catchers on Facebook. Um, and yeah, I hope everybody has a blessed, amazing day, and we will see you later.
You too as well later.
Bye.
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 I see you. All right, you guys. Oh, I'm trying to end the broadcast. Um, I do want to say we have a video coming up. It's going to be like probably a 3-parter. This case is very, very interesting. Please go hit the notification button. Um, and I hope you join us on that live. It is crazy, like insane, really insane. Yeah, and let us know in the comment section. Do you believe in aliens? Have you ever had an alien experience? Definitely interested in hearing about it.